let me introduce Chancellor Carole Christ from UC Berkeley to introduce our first honoree.
Thank you, Alex, and greetings, everyone. I'm Carole Christ, UC Berkeley's Chancellor, and I'm honored to introduce the video tribute to our very own Jennifer Doudna, the recipient of the 2020 Nobel Prize in Chemistry, a profoundly respected colleague and an extraordinary member of our community. While I will admit to a certain degree of bias, I believe the International Jury Committee was at the very top of its game in 2020. Before I proceed, I must thank Jim Wunderman, CEO of the Bay Area Council, and Mary Huss, editor of the San Francisco Times and immediate past chair of the council, for this wonderful opportunity to celebrate Jennifer and express our appreciation for the important, highly constructive relationship between our university and the Bay Area's business community. UC Berkeley is proud to be a longtime member of the Bay Area Council. Our organizations have jointly advocated for policies in Sacramento and in Washington, D.C. that are mutually beneficial to both the business community and higher education, such as investing in an educated workforce, research funding, and other areas which support our thriving innovation economy. I'm also thrilled that U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen, who is retired from her faculty position in our economics department in Berkeley Haas, is also speaking tonight. Janet is another female trailblazer who exemplifies and embodies all that is good and great about our campus. Jennifer's induction into the Bay Area Business Hall of Fame appropriately recognizes and honors not only Jennifer's amazing scientific accomplishments, but also her extraordinary commitment to the greater good, to making our world a better, healthier, more equitable place. I marvel at Jennifer's dedication to the safe and beneficial translation of her discoveries into technologies and business applications that will have huge benefits for society and our economy for generations to come. But what truly sets her apart from the crowd is her attention to the public impact of her work, her interest in assuring that the fruit of her work is accessible to and affordable for all, and her fearless campaign on the international stage for the safe and ethical use of gene editing. Jennifer's work and advocacy have made her a true citizen of the world, and that in turn makes us feel all the more honored to have her as a member of our campus community. Jennifer truly embodies a unique and compelling blend of public service, world-class science, and humanistic values, which in turn represent and reflect what Berkeley is all about. We watched all of these values, accomplishments, and abilities come together in the early days of the pandemic, when Jennifer rapidly and selflessly pivoted the Innovative Genomics Institute to focus on COVID-19 testing for the campus community, as well as frontline workers and underserved populations in the San Francisco Bay Area. The testing methods developed here in Berkeley were then shared freely with the world. It was inspiring and moving, to say the least. We're delighted by your recognition of Professor Doudna's contributions and welcome this opportunity to celebrate and honor an extraordinary scientist, friend, and colleague. I know you'll enjoy learning more about her now.
It's been called one of the most significant discoveries in the history of biology, and that may prove to be a massive understatement. Almost 10 years after pioneering UC Berkeley biochemist Dr. Jennifer Doudna and colleague Emmanuelle Charpentier unlocked the incredible power of the CRISPR gene editing tool, science is only beginning to understand and tap into its many potential applications. Treating and even curing cancer and other deadly diseases, from HIV and cystic fibrosis to muscular dystrophy and sickle cell anemia, ending hunger and malaria, fighting climate change. The applications are almost endless.
It's taken off over the last 6.5 years as a transformative technology now used in hundreds of labs around the world.
Doudna's landmark discovery earned her the 2020 Nobel Prize in Chemistry and brought her international acclaim. For Doudna, only the second woman to earn the Nobel in that category, the prize recognized more than scientific discovery.
For many women, there's a feeling that no matter what they do, their work will never be recognized the way it would be if they were a man. And this recognition today, I think, just, refutes that in a way.
Her strong interest in math, science, and the natural world began at a very early age in Hawaii, fueled by her own overwhelming sense of curiosity, nurtured by her educator parents, and inspired by a powerhouse high school science teacher.
I was fascinated by chemistry and life, and I kind of didn't know exactly how I would ever make any use of that. I didn't even think about it in that way.
A biochemist who visited her high school talked about the research she was doing to discover how cells became cancerous at a molecular level. Doudna was blown away.
I thought, I want to be her. I want to do that, whatever that is. I want to be that kind of a scientist when I grow up.
The real game changer in her career would come in 2002, when she joined UC Berkeley as a professor and researcher. The world-renowned university provided Doudna everything she needed to flourish.
It's an incredible place to be a scientist. It's really a privilege to be a faculty member here for two primary reasons. One is that this university really fosters and values fundamental research. And the other thing about the University of California, Berkeley that I think is so profoundly powerful is that it's a public university that invites students from all over the world to come here, receive an education, and discover the joys of doing fundamental research and making discoveries that in some cases change the world.
Which is exactly what she continues to do. Doudna's CRISPR technology has spawned 15 new patents, and more are on the way. And in addition to continuing fundamental research as head of the Innovative Genomics Institute, she has added entrepreneur to her resume, co-founding a number of companies, including Mammoth Biosciences, Caribou Biosciences, Intellia Therapeutics, and Scribe Therapeutics. These companies are tackling some of the biggest health, environmental, and agricultural challenges facing the world. Mammoth is working on a new type of COVID-19 test. Caribou is pursuing novel cancer therapies, and Scribe is developing treatments for ALS and other neurological diseases. They reflect Doudna's strong belief that while basic scientific research is absolutely vital, how discoveries are applied to solve real-world problems is just as important.
It's not chocolate, right?
And judging from her remarkable record of accomplishment, Doudna's only getting started. You could say it's in her DNA.
Unfortunately, Dr. Doudna couldn't be with us to receive the award tonight, but she did make a few pre-recorded remarks.
Hello, everyone. It's an honor for me to receive this Bay Area Council Hall of Fame Award. My thanks to the selection committee, members, and supporters. I view this award as recognition of how science and business can be appropriately harnessed together to improve our lives. As you may know, CRISPR technology began as a curiosity-driven science project. And over the past decade, my UC Berkeley lab, our Innovative Genomics Institute, and our partners and collaborators have worked tirelessly using that same fundamental discovery approach to advance CRISPR technology for better human health. I'm also pleased to say that our CRISPR work and societal impact has increased even beyond that. For example, last year we established a consortium of Bay Area science and technology companies and academic labs to provide more COVID testing capability. And as we look to the future, we're expanding our clinical trial initiatives and efforts to apply genome editing tools to solve long-term climate and sustainability challenges. Throughout, the backing from the Bay Area business community has been absolutely crucial. It has accelerated development and cemented the Bay Area as the center of the CRISPR economy. We're now seeing hundreds of new jobs at more and more companies actively bringing breakthrough applications to the world. I, like you, am proud of this ecosystem of scientific and technological innovation, venture capital engagement, and philanthropic vision. My thanks again to the Bay Area Council and to you all. Please know that my door is always open to talk about how we can continue to be the world's leading environment for creating the types of advances that can benefit all of humankind. In the meantime, I'd encourage you to check out our impact report at innovativegenomics.org. Thanks and be well.
You know, I've been doing this for a while, and I can honestly say that we have never had someone who was responsible for the gathering. Jennifer was responsible for us being able to be here tonight because of the vaccine, so good on her. I also now want to introduce Mary Huss, who was in an interview with Jennifer, so let's run that tape.
Let me add my congratulations and admiration, Dr. Doudna. You're an example and an inspiration, and you've influenced so many lives and careers and are leading the way towards a biotech revolution that's going to shape so many of our lives and future. I have many questions for you, but we'll go with just a few. As a young girl in Hawaii, you were encouraged by your parents, teachers, and others to pursue your interest in the sciences. But too often, many young girls and women don't receive that kind of support. How do you think that your winning the Nobel Prize has changed how girls and young women view their opportunities in STEM fields? And what more needs to happen to increase participation by women in these fields?
Well, I think the fact that the Nobel Prize last year was given to 2 women in chemistry speaks to the fact that science is women's work. It's a wonderful statement that I think speaks to all of the young women and girls out there who might be considering a STEM career. And I hope they can see that science is fun, science is women's work, it's girls' work, and it's really an exciting time to be in this field.
What are some of the most exciting applications of the CRISPR technology that you're seeing, and what has either surprised or troubled you about the ways that other scientists and businesses are approaching this technology?
I'm certainly excited about the opportunities in medicine and in agriculture. This is an extraordinary opportunity for scientists to use a genome editing tool to make targeted changes to the genomes of any living thing, and to use that technology in ways that will advance human health and advance our understanding of our world, as well as give us tools and opportunities to meet the challenges of climate change that are coming quickly. What worries me is really just wanting to ensure that we have the ability to advance the science while doing so responsibly. I've been involved over the last several years in the global discussions around responsible use of genome editing. And I think this is an important ongoing opportunity for the scientific communities, whether they be academic or companies, to get together and think together about appropriate ways to ensure responsible use, whether it's through regulation or through our own policing of the scientific opportunities in front of us. And frankly, both of those things are moving forward in a positive way, I feel.
That's great. It's a big responsibility. Currently, I know that we're taking a slow and deliberate approach to using CRISPR, which is a great idea, I would think. But when do you predict that this will become used in a widespread manner? And what will sort of be the phases of expansion until we get there?
Well, I would just point out, first of all, that CRISPR is already being used widely in research labs around the world. So it's taken off very quickly as a research tool. And as you indicated, it's important that as it becomes an application, especially in human health, but also in the environment, that we ensure that the technology is being used safely and effectively. I've been pleased at the pace of the science as well as the responsibility of the groups that are using it. And I think that we need to continue to ensure good public-private partnerships to lead to the next phase, as you indicated, where we will increasingly see CRISPR deployed as a standard of care, for example, for treating certain types of disease, or as a technology that is operationally deployed in different parts of the world for agricultural applications. We need the right partnerships to do that. And at the Innovative Genomics Institute, this is one of our core principles, is making sure that CRISPR becomes a technology that is available and affordable to everyone that can benefit from it.
Seems like the next decade is going to be an important one.
Indeed.
It's exciting to see what happens. So also exciting is that the Bay Area is a global hub of CRISPR research, which bodes well for our economy. What is it about the Bay Area that makes it such a great place for this research and development to flourish? And what regions across the globe are our competitors in this field?
Well, let's start with the fact that we have 3 of the world's best research universities, Stanford, UCSF, and UC Berkeley, that are all within a stone's throw of each other, so to speak. So that's one aspect of the Bay Area that is quite unique and important for the advancement of science. Secondly, we're adjacent to Silicon Valley and all of the entrepreneurs and exciting business ventures that are happening there. I think that's truly a unique environment and a hub of innovation that extends throughout the Bay Area. And I've certainly found in my own experience over the last few years that interactions with folks that are working in different areas of science or engineering can stimulate thinking and innovation in seemingly different fields, even in genome editing, which is really exciting. And then, of course, there's a large collection of supporters of research, whether they are institutes or government laboratories like the Lawrence Berkeley National Lab that's adjacent to the UC Berkeley campus, the Livermore Lab that's not too far away, as well as venture capital firms and other agencies that fund science, whether it's in nonprofit or for-profit organizations. It's a really interesting, really unique constellation that provides a unique opportunity here. Competitors, sure, we have them. Boston comes to mind, maybe New York, maybe the San Diego area. And I think internationally, we're seeing increasing activity in Asia, in China, and in certain areas in Europe, Switzerland, for example. However, I do feel that we do have a unique collection of people and opportunities here in the Bay Area that I hope will continue to keep us at the leading edge.
I hope so too. I think we have a great start at it. So I have a final question for you, and that's really what's next and what are you working on now? And can we expect another Nobel?
Well, I like to think if my father were alive, my father unfortunately passed away a long time ago, but if he were alive, that's the first thing he would have said to me was he would have said, well, great, you won the Nobel. What are you going to do for the next one? No guarantees there. Actually what I'm really excited about right now goes back to one of your earlier questions. It's the issue of how do we take an exciting technology that is working and utilized in many research labs and turn it into almost a commodity, something that is used widely to treat disease or to deal with environmental challenges or agricultural challenges. That's really what I'm excited about. And I think there's some technical solutions to that challenge. And I think there also are some partnering solutions to that challenge. So that's what I'll be focusing on in the coming years, especially through our activities at the Innovative Genomics Institute.
Well, it's a very exciting future, and we wish you much luck in continuing to innovate and break new ground. And we want to thank you, Dr. Jennifer Doudna, and again, congratulations on your many achievements and on being inducted into the Bay Area Council Business Hall of Fame.
I'm so honored to be inducted. Thank you, Mary, and thank you all for this honor. It's really deeply appreciated.